time, Dr. Freeman? Is it really that time again? For us to dive deep into the pits of hell? Pretty sure I spelled that wrong, but... Oh, no. Fuck! My God! Jesus! How much time do you have to make this shit? Okay. Alone. I got Donald's. Or not Virgil's. Virgil's. Not Virgil. Human version. This is kind of a parody of Slendytubbies. My version of the story, and a part of the Bright Tears character. Shadow Tubby is after Poe for a really crazy reason. Lala and Walton, the white Teletubby, are falling for each other. You know what? Dipsy and Poe are resurrected from the dead. Dipsy wants revenge on Tinky Winky. Tinky Winky made a new friend but is struggling to turn back into his old self. Read this story and see what will happen. Fuck up. Here we go. Oh, I might have to censor out some names. Do I have to censor out names? It's not harassment, isn't it? Just read it. It was an ordinary day in Teletubby Land. But later in the night, Poe couldn't sleep because he was fucking bored. And so he decided to look up Wattpad. She felt a pair of eyes looking at only her. She felt like someone was breathing on her. She thought, I can't sleep. She felt a breath as she felt a shadowy hand touching her curved up thigh. She felt frozen. I can't do this right now. Then she heard a bang as she sat up and saw Tinky Winky standing in front of the custard machine. What are you doing? Tinky Winky didn't answer. He just walked away from the rest as Poe said, Wait, what do you do? She decided to follow Tinky Winky alone and said as she got up, There's no time to make dirty. I need to follow him quickly before he goes far. I better grab a torch from the workbench. She grabbed the torch and ran off to follow Tinky Winky and yelled, Tinky Winky! Oh no, no! Oh, no! No! Oh, it's dangling, and a chicken nugget. Oh, chicken nugget almost fell. There's only one chicken nugget left, but for some godforsaken reason, I can't finish it. I need a drink. She followed him until he got far, as she yelled, Poe continued to walk to search for her friend, and then she went to the left. She said, I wouldn't mind, like, animating this, just having, like, 2 cardboard cutouts, and just having, like, my phone's camera on like a bipod or tripod just sitting there. Where was I? Oh yeah. She walked around the area as she said, "This is gonna get annoying, but I don't care." So she did, until she spotted the tubby custard in front of a tree and said in a confused tone, "Tubby custard? How did it work?" Tinky Winky doesn't set the baby. Then the redhead felt eyes watching her again, then heard an unfamiliar but dark voice behind her that said,
"Well, hello, my dear."
"Oh, what time is it? It's 11:50. Jesus, it's already... Wait, it's 11:50? Oh my god. I'm getting lightheaded. She turned to see a guy with shadowy hair looking at her with dark eyes.
Slendytubby. You know what? BT 7274.
Poe said shakily, "Hello." The guy smirked creepily and said with his dark tone as he walked towards her slowly,
"So, what's a pretty-looking girl like you doing out here so late at night?"
Poe was shaking like a leaf, but answered, "Oh, I was looking for my brother, son." He was amused and didn't hesitate as he answered,
Well, wait. Well, motherfucker, who wrote this?
"You know what, just because of this shit, I'm not censoring your name."
Purple hair, this high, hail, hails. Well, I'm pretty sure I saw him by the lake, but I'd be careful if I were you. He's cranky. Uh-oh, stinky.
Poe said shakily, Before she could finish, she saw that the guy with shadow black hair was gone. "Where did he go?" I'm gonna have to turn that. So she went over by the lake and saw Tinky Winky, said in a fearful tone, "Tinky Winky, are you okay?" Tinky Winky stood still and said in a scary tone, "You know what? I need to find a good voice for this." Pause, you cunt. Why won't you pause? Why? Alright. Tinky Winky stood still and said in a scary tone,
"Oh, I'm okay, Poe.
He turns around with a very scary face.
really okay."
I don't want to turn off there. Fuck. As he screamed as Poe ran off and said, "Oh my god!" She ran as she noticed him. "He's chasing me!" She ran to the house with tears in her eyes, screaming. She screamed, She almost reached the house and screamed, "What the fuck?" Then she saw Dipsy's decapitated body, unaware of the presence of the white-haired boy, Walton. The white-haired boy was in the control room and saw the whole thing and said in a shocked tone,
Oh no, how could this? Something must have been wrong with the custards. An immune Lala had escaped.
Lala had ran off and threw up a bit of the custard and didn't stop as she thought, why did you do this, Tink? I can't get enough voices for people. Why did you do this, Tinky Winky? I thought we were your friends. She ran out of the house and as far away as she could possibly can. But when she stopped by a tree where she was last seen, man, I didn't know I was in that fucking shitty movie maker. Like, geez, am I even recording? Hang on, like, is my audio getting recorded? If something goes wrong, I'm not rereading that shit. I swear to fucking God. I swear on Jesus fucking Christ, I'm not doing this shit again. Where she was last seen, death came upon her like frost on a flower. You know what? Hang on. There. Boy,
if you don't.
Okay, that is just great. That is just mwah, mwah. Great first scene. How many chapters are there? The encounter, it happened. 35! 35! Oh no, it's 35 fucking chapters that make me want to blow my fucking head.